So if you're new to the channel, this channel is focused on promoting digital marketing strategies for medical entrepreneurs. And particularly the number one thing that I think is very important for all businesses to have is a good referral strategy. Now, referrals are not without their problems. And I'm going to discuss some of the problems with referrals in this video and how to overcome those. Okay, so your first problem with referrals is that most people who are depending on referrals for their business are really waiting for the phone to ring, right? It's what I call random acts of referral. It's just, you're just hoping somebody's going to refer you. And that's a big problem because you are not in control of your business. You don't know when you're going to get a lot of referrals, when you're going to have a busy time, when you're going to have a slow time. How are you going to figure out your cash flow and how you're going to pay bills? It's a big problem for businesses. I would say the first problem with referrals is unpredictability and inconsistency. And the way to overcome that is to implement a marketing plan. And your marketing plan should be pretty diverse. So you want to develop and execute a comprehensive marketing plan that includes a mix of digital marketing, my favorite being social media, traditional advertising, and community engagement. So that helps you get a steady stream of new clients. So digital marketing, like I said, is social media pay-per-click ads. It can also be Google pay-per-click ads, YouTube, those kind of format. Traditional advertising is mailouts. If you're new in your community, send out a mailer. It can be a simple postcard to everybody in your area. Or if you have a mailing list of your existing clients, there's no harm in sending them a birthday card or a Christmas card or something like that. Just keep in touch so that they remember you. The more that you have points of contact with them, especially if those points are not intended to sell, the more likely you will to get bookings. It's actually the opposite of what you think. You think you have to keep selling, but you don't. What you have to do is just demonstrate that you care, that you are their healthcare provider, that you are there for them, that you want to see them, you want to help and heal. And I promise you, if your intentions are in the right place and that if you are knowledgeable and capable, it will shine through with your clients and you will be rewarded for that handsomely. And the other thing you could be doing to prevent the unpredictability of referrals is to have a regularly scheduled promotion program. So one thing I really like is if, let's say, you're a massage therapist, you could do something where new clients get $10 off, or maybe they get 15 minutes free, something along those lines, or they buy one session, get one session free. Something to kind of get people to try you out for the first time is a really good way to help boost consistency, keep new clients coming in, just keep the phone ringing, that kind of thing. Eventually your business it'll always have a little bit of peaks and valleys and stuff like that, but you want it to be more or less consistent where you can say to yourself, okay, every month we clear overhead. That's ideal. So that's what you want to get to. You don't want it to be like 1 month you're just swimming in clients and you can't get any sleep and your days off are just recovering from the last set of work days. And then the next month you're panicking about how you're going to make your overhead and you don't even know if you're going to have enough money to pay for the bills. That is a terrifying way to live. It's how most entrepreneurs live. And I'm hoping that if you're following this channel that you want to be someone a little bit better than that and you want to have a more stable lifestyle. So stick around if that is you. Please subscribe. That's the kind of thing I like talking about. I like helping out people that believe in providing value to their clients. I like helping out the kind of people that want to do better, want to help and heal. The kind of people that believe that there's no second best in healthcare, that you want to do the best work you can for your patients. If that's you, then you're my kind of people, so please stick around. Okay, so now problem number 2 with relying just on referrals for your business is that you have limited reach. If you're new in business and you've got 0 clients, then who's referring you? You've got maybe your neighbors and your mom and dad, and that's about it, right? So at first, when you're a brand new business, you have a very limited reach, and that's very hard to grow because, yeah, we're all grateful for referrals, but if 2 people refer you to 2 more, it still doesn't pay the bills. So we have to go a little bit beyond that. And then the other problem is that let's say you want to really grow your business. Let's say you want to take on another staff member and you want to make sure that you're covering their wages. You have to have predictability, right? This goes back to point number 1. So limited reach is a big problem with waiting on referrals. You can only be referred by the people that are in your database, right? The people that you've helped before. That's what most of us think, but actually you can get referred by a lot more than that. So something you could be doing is leveraging digital marketing. And that's what my social media packs are for. If you're interested, you can buy them. It's a done for you solution. Just contact me, I'll help you with that. But if you want to do it yourself, I think you should be using your social media to leverage your knowledge, to explain to people what you know and how you can help them, and to demonstrate that. There's no more powerful thing that you can do than to demonstrate what your product or service is about. That's why people test drive vehicles before they buy them. That's why people like to take the free taste samples at Costco. Everybody likes to try something out before they commit to it and put their money into it. So you can do the same as a service-based business. I'm not suggesting that you go and provide medical services completely for free for everybody. And I hate to see people doing one-to-one marketing. It takes forever to do that. You really want to reach a bigger crowd and cast a wider net. So what you can do if you want to give people that free taste test is you can do talk through videos like what I'm doing now, and maybe explain to people sort of what condition they may be suffering from. These are the symptoms, and this is how my service helps with that. You could demonstrate that in a video for yourself. If you don't want to be on camera, you can do a podcast. You could just do social media posts. You could just write them out if you wanted to. There are many different ways to do this, but you really have to find a way for people to get a sense of who you are and what you can do for them. And then the people that aren't even maybe necessarily thinking about your services, they might refer you too. You might have people kind of lurking and stalking you because they enjoy your channel and they like learning about medical stuff. There's a lot of people like that. So if you get a few of those watching you, they're going to tell their friends, right? If you've never, there's this one book called How to Unleash the Idea Virus. It's by Seth Godin. I'll probably put a link to it in the show notes. Fantastic marketing book. He's a genius in the marketing world. And what Seth Godin says is that if you want to spread your idea or spread your business, your vision, you really need two kinds of people to sneeze your virus out and spread the virus around. We all remember that from the COVID days. So you want two different kinds. There is the power sneezer, the person who has a big audience themselves, who is sort of the influencer, is sort of the new word for that. They're hard to reach though. Or you want the promiscuous sneezer, the person that sneezes quite often to their entire network. And those people like to be ahead of trends. They like to be in the know, and they have a thirst for knowledge, and you can help provide that for them, and you can help feed it to them. So when they say, well, how did you know about that? Or how did you hear about that? Oh, I follow this massage therapist or chiropractor, whoever you are. I follow this health entrepreneur. You should watch them too. Here's a video. I'm going to share it with my audience. That's how that works. So it is very good for you guys to be creating content about the things that you know. I know it's awkward. Hey, I'm new at this too. It's embarrassing to do it at first. I promise you just got to get your feet wet and try it out. Wherever you're uncomfortable is where the growth is. So aim for that. The next thing you can be doing to help with the limited reach is to have networking and partnerships. So maybe there's some other businesses around your area that serve the same kind of clientele you're trying to reach. And see if you can do something that helps both of you guys out. Symbiotic relationship, right? So I'm going to use an example of a massage therapist. So maybe there's a massage therapist in town and there is a florist in town. Well, the florist is going to have a Mother's Day thing coming up where there's a lot of people shopping for gifts for their moms and their wives, and you are a massage therapist. So maybe what you can do is put your introductory offer of $10 off for new clients, put that little card, stack it on the desk of the florist, and maybe even encourage the florist in some way to include that with everyone who buys a Mother's Day bouquet, give them some ideas. That could get you a few more clients. And you in turn could have their cards on your desk, or you could have their flowers stocked in your waiting room. When people ask you where'd you get these beautiful flowers from, you got them from the florist. Find ways to help another business. And if your approach is to help them out first, try to strategize as businesses, put your entrepreneur brains together and see if there's a way that will help both of you guys out mutually. That is usually a very fruitful direction to go in, and you'd be surprised how much that kind of thing can help. Sometimes it brings in 2, 3, 4 extra clients a month. That doesn't hurt. That all helps the bottom line, right? I always like that expression that it's with cents that you make dollars. And I really believe that. It's the small little changes, the little efforts, they add up to big things. So give that a shot. Okay, so now the next problem to do with referrals is that you feel like you have a lack of control. And that really is the case for most businesses. We're just waiting for the phone to ring, or, I like to call them random acts of referrals. They're kind and we're grateful when we get them from our clients. We're all very happy and thankful when they do it. And please do express your gratitude to your clients when they do refer you. But there's a lack of control there. You can't scale your business on waiting around for the phone to ring. You can't predict your cash flow that way. So if this is your one method of marketing, it is a very big problem. You have to go beyond that so that you don't have the big swings in your business, like I talked about before. So, a few ways that you can do that is by creating a referral program, something that benefits both the referrer and the referee. And I would really suggest, if you're going to do that, please do take the step to make it something measurable and accountable, and informing the person who's referred that now they've earned a credit, sort of thing. So if, let's say, again, I'll use a massage therapy example, because I think massage therapists can really benefit from this kind of thing. If you were, let's say, a massage therapist and you were going to give 15 minutes free to everyone who is referred and everybody that you refer, then I want to know that if I referred my friend so and so and they came to you, that on my next visit I'm going to get 15 minutes free. And you can just sort of email them or whatnot, but I think if you take the step to call them and say, thank you, I want to express my gratitude to you. I am so flattered that you referred me to your cousin, your sister, your neighbor, whoever it is. Um, I really am so grateful that you have that confidence in me. And I can't wait to see you at your next appointment. And I'm throwing in an extra 15 minutes free for your appointment. If you have any more referrals, I would love that too. I know that people feel uncomfortable having those kind of calls with their clients, but that kind of engagement is exactly the personal connection that you want to make with your clients. You want them to know how grateful you are because they're rooting for you. They're helping you out. They feel like now they're a part of your success. And when they feel that, they're going to want to do it again. It's a very good feeling to know that they've helped you out and you've helped them out. You've made them feel good. They wouldn't be referring you if you didn't make them feel better. So obviously, they want to show their gratitude too. So take the step to let people know when their referral has succeeded and it has led to a new client. The other thing is active client engagement. So I said earlier in the video that oftentimes you'll get your best sales when you're not even trying to sell. It's just in that being a person. Like when we look at the big corporations right now that we seem to be so flooded by with all these box stores, Walmart, Costco, these big companies all around us, they have the personality of a piece of lettuce. Like they don't pick up the phone and say thank you. They don't pick up the phone and say Merry Christmas. They don't pick up the phone and say, I was thinking about you. Do you feel better today? They don't do those kinds of things. But if you do, your effort will shine. They've actually set an incredibly low bar for customer service. We, as solo entrepreneurs, we can jump over that fence so high and reach beyond them and leave them in the dust. And it's not hard to do. Think of how you would treat your family or your friends. And if you start treating your clients in that same manner, I promise you they're going to take notice of it and they're not going to want to do business with someone else. They're just not. If you look outside of the healthcare business, I want to use the example of hairdressers. Now, when people choose their hairdresser, I know I should be one to talk, right? But I'm sure you out there have picked up a hairdresser at some point in your life. It's important to you that your hairdresser can do the job. Obviously, you wouldn't go back to them if they gave you really awful haircuts. But you're loyal to the ones that you enjoy visiting. Isn't it weird how a hairdresser sort of becomes like your therapist or like your religious pastor sometimes, your religious leader, where you confess things to them? You can have conversations with them that you don't have with most people. And because you're seeing them periodically, you're looking forward to visiting them again. That sort of personal touch, other industries do it really well. And we're in the health business. We can utilize that for us too. And we can be those kind of people as well that people look forward to visiting again. Okay, now the next problem with depending on referrals is slower growth. So waiting for the phone to ring again, I know they're all along the same theme, but I just want to really spell out all the problems that you could be facing here. Slower growth is a big one. When you're in your first year of business, it's hard to survive on the few referrals you can get for how hard you're trying. You could be doing the best job ever, but you just have such a small pool to pick from, small amount of people that can be referring you. So this is a really hard thing to overcome. The best way to overcome it is to do active outreach. Get off your butt and get to work. Go hustle. It's like Britney Spears said, you better work, right? And it really is the case. I know it's hard to network and a lot of people don't like that. So instead of networking, maybe mingle. And if you don't want to mingle, maybe just wear a shirt with your company logo on it and people will come up and talk to you. If, oh, you're a massage therapist, and they'll have a discussion with you. Things like that. But you do have to get the word out in some way if you don't want to wait for all of your referrals to come in. Unless you're going to pay for pay-per-click ads, which is also very effective, and I talked about that before. You can also do things like hosting workshops, webinars, doing things like that to sort of attract new clients. Maybe do something where you talk to an organization. Perhaps there's your local RCMP detachment or your local hospital, and you do something for them where you create a video about how ergonomics of nurses needs your chiropractic services, or the way police carry all their gear is not easy on their back, so they need massages periodically, and this is how we help with that. That kind of thing. Like, think about your clients and your business and how it is you can help a certain demographic and try to reach out for those ones. You could also do things like growing your online presence, like I'm doing here. So you can start a YouTube series, a podcast. Maybe you have a really active Facebook page. Things along those lines. Maybe line up some interviews. If you don't want to do all the legwork of creating all these things yourself, maybe there's somebody already in your community that is interviewing small businesses, like your local newspaper or your Chamber of Commerce, and they're doing some spotlights on local businesses. Maybe you can just reach out and say, hey, can I be interviewed? And then you've got some little piece of interview that you can now recycle and put it on your social media over and over again, however often you feel like. That's a good way to deal with the slower growth, is to really start getting off your butt and hustling. The next problem with depending on referrals to come in and waiting for the phone to ring is that it depends on client satisfaction. And that should really go without saying, that you're depending on your customers or your clients feeling really impressed, so impressed that they're willing to go out there and do referring for you. And if you're having a hard time with that, I think you really need to reflect on your customer service experience and take a cold, hard look at it. I'm not saying that if you're not getting referrals that you're not doing a good job. I'm sure you probably are. Maybe you just, there's nobody that they can refer to. But if you're not seeing a steady stream of referrals coming in, I think you need to take a magnifying glass out at your own business and have a look at your customer experience. Where can improvements be made? I like to look at this as your time to be the engineer. Get away from the business, step away, sit at home, be in a relaxed space, and think to yourself, what is my perfect customer experience? And how can I reverse engineer that? If you want every one of your customers to feel welcome when they come in, then you need to train your receptionist at doing that. Maybe there's a problem there, or maybe your greeting room or your welcoming space isn't very welcoming. Maybe you want everyone to feel relaxed after. Perhaps rushing them out the door isn't a great idea. Maybe you need to put some space in between your appointments, or have two rooms so that when one person is getting dressed, you could start the next person in the next room. These kinds of things. So really, really hone in on what it is that you want your perfect customer to experience. How would you blow them out of the water? Then once you've engineered that, find a way to make it automatic and automate it like crazy. This is where I think the power of AI and automation really come into play. Good automation doesn't make you sound like a robot. Good automation actually makes you sound superhuman, to the point where people can't believe how you do it all. How do you remember everybody's birthday? How are you sending a personal note to everybody at Christmas? How are you thanking everybody for their referrals? How do you do it all? You're Wonder Woman or Superman or whoever you are that's listening to this. So think about that. How can you engineer it, and how can you automate it and use tools in order to help yourself do that? Because once you've got every customer feeling that perfect customer experience, your referrals will go up proportionally with it. It's a wise investment to make, both in your time and for the cost of the tools. Okay, so now here is my bonus tip, and it's probably the best one. So if you're having a hard time getting referrals and you don't know what to do about it, how to get more referrals and get them on a more steady basis, utilize client testimonials and reviews. So the reviews that you do have, those testimonials, those referrals, or those kudos that you do have, they are worth their weight in gold, and they should definitely be a part of your marketing platform. I think it's a really good idea to have a review section on your website where your testimonials are. If you want to put them on a sliding gallery where they just sort of spin by, that's a good way to do it, or you can have a separate page for them altogether. I think it's a very good idea to make it easy for your clients to refer you. So perhaps a vinyl decal on your window, or I know if you go on Etsy, there are several boards that you can have made up with your logo and a QR code where people can go and scan and put their testimonial in. Maybe you go a little fancier and you have some automation that texts them after their first appointment. Hey, please leave a review. I'd love to hear what your first appointment experience was like. You're surveying them at the same time. These are all good ways to get more reviews, and those reviews, in effect, act like a referral. Because I may be new in town. Maybe I've never looked for a massage therapist or a chiropractor or podiatrist or whatever you are. Maybe I've never looked for that kind of service before. So I want to see what other people are saying about you before I book my appointment. Having those reviews out there is really helpful for that. Yelp was a good platform for it. I think nowadays most people just use Google reviews or use Facebook reviews. A combination of the two would be fantastic. If you're new, I would actually recommend that you try and push all your clients into one channel so that you have, let's say, 20 Google reviews instead of having 10 on Facebook and 10 on Google. But whichever way you want to do it is totally fine. I just like having one platform that shows a big amount. I think that carries more weight. And then once you have those reviews, you can screenshot those, and those are Instagram posts. You can go on Canva and make Facebook slides out of them. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. Like there's a lot that you can do to show that. You can maybe have it plastered up on your wall in your office, somewhere along those lines. Make visual proof of what people are saying about you, because your customers are your best recruiters. They're better salespeople than you probably are. You're in healthcare. What do you know about sales? Like really, unless you're someone who's as nerdy about business as I am, and I'm betting most of you aren't, you're not going to really want to be doing a lot of sales. You want to just help and heal people, right? So let the website do the talking, let the social media do the talking, let all of that do it so you can focus on what you're good at, which is helping your patients. And if you're not good at the social media, you're not very much into bragging, all that kind of stuff, come on over to my website. I have social media packs available. I've designed them for different industries. You can buy a 30-day social media pack or longer. I have different themes. You can buy those so that you don't even have to do it yourself. There's many ways to do this, but I think after discussing all these problems with waiting for the phone to ring, you can see that referrals, although they are a cornerstone of every business, if you just wait for the phone to ring, wait for those random acts of referrals, you are facing a lot of uphill problems. And it's going to be a lot easier when you start taking control of your own business and start driving in the driver's seat. Sit in the driver's seat and take control of the wheel. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. This is my favorite topic to talk about. It lights me up. So if you need help with marketing, give me a shout. I'm happy to be there for you. Thank you.